Alright everyone, welcome back. Torn, mutilated, and weaponless, he cannot even take his own life. The shadow approaches. It strokes Assassin's cheek with a scornful, cherishing gesture. A deformed spider-like hand comes out of his stomach. His bones crack. His flesh rips apart. It feels as if his organs are turning into someone else's. Assassin suppresses the regurgitating blood. The swordsman swallows it and smiles with his pale lips.
よかろう。好きにするがいい。所詮は我が腹より吐いてるもの。ろくな性根ではなかろうよ。
He smiles even though he is denied an honorable death. If one talks about a grand spectacle, his smile is grander than the spawning of this abomination. Well then, Assassin should know how, Lancer feels then. He's never given an honorable death. And thus it is summoned. Taking the false servant's flesh as its own, the true assassin enters our world. His first cries sound like those of an insect. The black insect that crawled from the swordsman's stomach devours the body that was his own nursery. He giggles while tearing the flesh apart. He laughs while crunching on the bones. Every time he does so, the insect becomes more like a man, and the empty brain acquires human wisdom. And after a while, he has finished sipping every last bit of blood and blesses the birth of his own self, the assassin. The only ones to witness are the chorus of insects in the shining moonlight. The high-pitched breath cry melts into the darkness. An ominous moon. A white skull laughs under the black burned sky. We run up the stone steps. Saber is already armed. We're both straining our nerves in preparation for an enemy attack. The steps are long and the wind is warm, even though we're near the mountaintop. According to Saber, this mountain has a boundary field that repels servants. Servants will lose most of their power and magical energy if they enter the mountain from anywhere other than the front gate. Therefore, the only way we can enter is through the front, but...
てっきり待ち伏せてると思ったんだが、サーバントの気配しないよな、セイバ
ー。ありません。この石段には私以外のサーバントは。
Saber suddenly stops and looks down.
セイバー、なんかあったのか？
いいえ、私の気のせいでしょう。刀らしきものが見えた気がしましたが、そのようなものはどこにもない。この山門に守り手はいません。境内に向かいましょう。
Saber starts running again. I tilt my head in wonder, but hurry to keep up with her. The compound is dead silent. The wind is strong. All around is thick darkness. Despite the moon overhead, the terrible darkness remains. I look up. The moon is there, of course. Its rays shine down on the compound, but the area is still shrouded in darkness.
セイバ
ー。ええ、様子がおかしい。ここまで踏み込んで反応がないなどありえません。それに、これは静かすぎる。
中を調べよう。竜道寺は50人近い大所帯なんだ。こんなに静かなんてことがあるもんか。
We head for the temple. There's no one around. After confirming that the compound is empty, we go inside. Everyone in the temple is sleeping. They do not even twitch. They don't react even when we touch them. All the monks without exception are weakened. No matter how hard we try to rouse them, they just lie there, breathing peacefully as if enjoying a dream. Of course, my classmate is among them. Ryudo Issei is sleeping peacefully as well. We quickly move across the wooden hallway. It's because Saber felt a presence. Saber pointed toward the main temple building. The master responsible for this disaster is there. We step into the shrine. The first thing we see is the red blood spreading on the floor. The center of the temple is wet with blood. There's a man lying there as well. His chest must be pierced as the man is dyeing the floor red. The wound is fatal and the man has lost enough blood to die. He's already dead. I know this man, and it seems he was a master to the one standing beside his body. The servant is looking down at her master with a mysterious dagger in hand. Oh, so Castor's dead already, and so is, what's his name? Pain lances through my head, accompanied by a sense of apprehension. It's not that I'm scared of this scene. That dagger's ominous. It seems Saber does not feel anything, but I can tell that the dagger has dreadful power.
Caster!
Saber readies herself. The servant in a purple robe, Castor, does not answer. I don't know if Saber took it as an opening or as an insult. But she tries to charge.
ダメだ待てセイバー
シロ、なぜ止めるのです。今置いてキャスターを撃つ機会は。
そうじゃない。あの担当には触れるな。あれは魔術破りだ。もしかするとマスターとサーバントの契約だって立つかもしれない。
It's funny how he figured this out in this particular route and not during the Unlimited Blades Work one. Nor even in Fate. Then again, I don't think he had enough time to really examine it in Fate. I think he did, though.
では、キャスターは自らのマスターを。
I don't know if she did, but I'm sure the dagger she's holding has unearthly power.
キャスター、貴様、主に手をかけたな。
Saber rushes in with an angry roar. Castor turns around. With her vigor gone, she looks more like a ghost than a heroic spirit. The sword flashes through the air. It slices the robe, but Castor manages to jump back.
セイバー。そう、とどめを刺しに来たというわけね。誰の筋書きだか知らないけど、周到なこと。
黙れ。主を裏切った者の言葉など聞きたくもない。自らの行いを恥じ、ここで裁かれるがいい。
私がマスターを殺した。宗一郎様を私が。
I was trying to remember his name. It's Soroichio.
それは愉快ね。ええ、こんなことになるのなら本当にそうしてしまえばよかった。
She starts laughing maniacally. The black-robed magus puts her dagger away and points at Saber.
目障りをセイバー。主もろとも消え去りなさい。
Saber does not even need to answer. She raises her sword without hesitation. Castor disappears. The battle between the two could not be called a battle. Castor's magic was supreme, but it did no good against Saber, who has high magic resistance. Saber nullified every magic Castor used and killed her in one blow.
キャスターは倒しました。マスター、指示を。
ああ、そうだな。これ以上ここにいても何もできない。病院の前に琴峰に連絡して後を任そう。昏睡してる人たちはそれで助けられるはずだ。
But we can't save the corpse in front of us. Castor's disappeared, leaving only her master's corpse at our feet. His death will likely be kept a secret. Nobody will know what happened to him, and he will disappear from everyone's memory.
シロ。
分かってる。マスターはあと4人もいるんだ。立ち止まっている余裕はない。
So wait, in this version, in this particular route, he didn't know that one of his teachers was killed? He didn't know that was Soichiro?
賢明です。気持ちはわかりますが、干渉は押しとどめてください。
Saber turns and starts to walk. Engraving the sight of the corpse into my mind, I follow. Wait. What was that?
シロ、どうしたのです？足を止めて。
いや、今なんか視線を感じたっていうか、誰かに見られてる気がしたっていうか。セイバー。
いいえ、何も感じませんでした。この周囲に人がいないことは確認したはずです。シロの気のせいではないですか？
そうかな。セイバーがそう言うんなら間違いないか。うん、きっと俺の勘違いだ。
では急ぎましょう。キャスターが倒れた今、昏睡していた人々も目を覚まします。私たちの姿を見られては面倒だ。
She's right. Tonight will leave a bad taste in my mouth, but it should put an end to the mysterious coma incidents. That should be good enough for tonight.
わかった。すぐに山を降りて琴峰に連絡。あとは家に戻って今夜は休もう。
Saber nods in satisfaction and leaves the temple. I follow after Saber, even though it's really hard for me to leave this place. The man who used to be a master lies silently in this holy place. The lead actor has left. The only ones remaining on the stage are silent corpses, and something is devouring the corpses. No bodies remain. The wooden floor turns into a bottomless swamp, swallowing up the man's flesh and spilled blood. It consumes not only the man, but the one who obeyed him. The soul that was a serving caster is swallowed into the darkness. It is not a legitimate flow. The defeated servants are to be consumed by the Holy Grail. If anyone interferes with this balance, it will only bring his own death and destruction. It cries silently. It writhes in pain, sobs, exposes itself, and finally consumes the first one. It walks on. Lacking a voice, it expresses its pain with the whole of its body. There are no words nor emotion. It never had those functions in the first place. But it still grieves, as if it has become aware of its existence for the first time. Like a horror movie, man. It's already 2 in the morning. Despite my daily training, running to view the temple and back is still tiring.
そうだ。セイバー、先に部屋に戻っていてくれ。
どこに行くのです、シロ。今夜はもう休むのではないのですか？
ちょっとな。すぐに戻るから心配すんな。俺だって疲れてるし、早く休みたい。
なるほど。さくらの容体が気になるのですね。
水を変えないとまずいだろ。セイバーこそちゃんと隣の部屋で寝てくれよ。襖も閉めてちゃんとしてないとダメなんだからな。
ああ、そうでしたね。同室でないのは不都合ですが、シローが強情を張るのではやむを得ません。言われた通り、隣の部屋で待機しましょう。
Saber looks discontented. Huh. You're stubborn as well. I return to my room filled with self-hatred.
午前3時。1時間も何やってたんだ、俺。
I let out a heavy sigh. There's only one simple explanation. Sakura looked like she wasn't sleeping well, so I took the time adjusting her blanket and bringing her fresh water. Such simple tasks were really painful and difficult for me.
目隠しでもあればよかった。
That would have solved everything. Well, I had my eyes closed anyway, but a blindfold would have prevented me from giving in to temptation and opening them.
寝る。こんな時はあれだ。寝ちまうに限る。
A I cover my head in the futon and drive all worldly thoughts out of my head. Close my eyes and clear my head. See? I'm physically exhausted anyway, so it should be easy for me to fall asleep. Red. The town at evening is completely red, as though painted with a certain something, like a bench with a paper sign attached. Everywhere I take a step and everything that touches my hand makes a sticky sound. I walk down the asphalt road. When I lift my head, I see that the buildings are dyed a uniform scarlet. The walls look like giant nails coming out of the sky and piercing the earth. The red sun seems to be peering down on me from the sky as if to tell me there's no escape. I'm walking alone. Shinto is utterly silent. Either everyone is holding their breath and hiding, or there was no one here to begin with. But it hurts. This redness, intense enough that it's an assault on the eyes, is making me dizzy. The town is too empty. Maybe there was some kind of evacuation notice and I was the only one who didn't get it. That thought lets me accept the redness. I should go home. It's waiting. Isn't that Tosaka? Even from a distance, I can tell. Hey, Tosaka! She ignores me. She walks on, fluttering her hair, which is long enough to touch the ground. She's wearing her uniform, so she must be going to school. I run after her. Tosaka doesn't notice. The distance between us doesn't close at all. She's walking and I'm running, but she's gradually getting farther away. By the way, Tosaka must be walking with an extremely long stride. No, she isn't. I'm running fast enough to make me short of breath, but Tosaka is still faster. Her long hair disappears into the school, like a fluttering butterfly. By the way, there's nobody in the school either. Empty. Empty. It's as if the red scenery has been skillfully crafted from sugar. If the red sunlight became strong enough, it would all fuse into a formless mass. By the way, I hear a woman's laughter. It has a charming quality like two young girls frolicking together. An image rises in my mind of the two beautiful sisters alike as twins. I open the door and enter the classroom. By the way, I wonder why I chased her here for no reason. I feel no surprise nor any unpleasant feeling. The two of them are embracing like lovers, making me doubt the issue of gender. In this red scenery, I think they even seem more correct this way. But there is one thing that worries me. The fact that Mitsuzuri's arms are as limp as those of a corpse. I was wrong. She isn't embracing her. She's feeding on her. A praying mantis is devouring a white butterfly. I'm drawn in, unsteady on my feet. Mitsuzuri looks like a wax figure. Her life is being stolen away by the second. Tosaka is smiling with a lazy look in her eyes. She brings her face close to Mitsuzuri's neck. Mitsuzuri does not resist her pale throat exposed to Tosaka. Tosaka's lips, no, her teeth. The wax figure's chest twitches. Though I run to save her, it's as slow as moving through water. I can't make it in time. I can only watch as Tosaka gulps down and Mitsuzuri crumples to the floor. She licks her fingers. The sight of her tongue coiling about her fingers bewitching. It's far too alluring. The heavy atmosphere around Tosaka envelops and submerges me. Tosaka is still licking her fingers. The wet sound flows into my ears.
よかった。来てくれたのね、エミヤくん。
Her voice is thick and filled with desire. I feel so dizzy. It's as if I'm inside a kaleidoscope. My thoughts are as paralyzed as my limbs. Ah, by the way, my body had lost its freedom long before.
どうしたの？私のことが怖い？エミヤくん。
Yeah, you're a freaking vampire. I can neither affirm nor deny it. The woman with the bewitching smile is too attractive to resist, and frightening as if she's about to capture and kill me. A fly being played with by an orb weaver. There's no chance of an escape or opposition.
美味しかったわ、綾子は。
With that, she confirms that the secret really was a feeding. But still, why Mitsuzuri?
だってあなたを待つ間我慢できなかったんだもの。
Her smile is filled with joy. Tosaka reaches out. For some reason, I imagine her slender arms coiling many times around my body. Tosaka's sweet scent envelops me, extending her control even to my lungs.
次はあなたの番よ。
Tosaka's limbs are wrapped around me. Her soft, womanly body drowns out the flickering warnings in my mind. I feel as though I'll crumble in her embrace. Her face is close enough to kiss. Her moist eyes are filled with an unsteady desire. Her breathing is deep enough to suffocate me.
今度はエミヤくんを食べてあげる。
Tosaka's lips touch me, at the nape of my neck. They're warm and wet. The soft sensation creeping along my neck makes my consciousness dissolve like candy. Sharp fangs pierce my skin. Tosaka's biting into me. Just like with Mitsuzuri, her fangs at my neck. It doesn't hurt. They say when a spider consumes its prey, it begins by anesthetizing it. This anesthesia sends me into an even deeper trance. The sensation of her lips on my skin feels so good, it's as if I might melt away. The nape of my neck is softly dissolving. With every mouthful, Tosaka drinks my blood turned steadily into sugar. She sucks out everything that is inside me, and to replace it, she pours in a nectar that melts my body. It seeps softly into my bones, my muscles, my skin. My throat has already dissolved, leaving me unable to even moan. Everything below my neck is steadily dissolving, and the impossible feeling is deceiving my senses. Tosaka sticks fast to my neck, drinking as her shoulders tremble, as if she's truly happy to be sucking my blood. Ugh, no thanks. My dizziness causes my vision to blur and duplicate. I suddenly realize my breathing has stopped and my blood has been drained away so it doesn't circulate my body. And instead, the sweet, strong liquor from Tosaka soaks my whole body. While still being eaten, I hear a voice that I should not hear. My brain goes numb, melted by the voice.
暑いわね、エミヤくん。
Tosaka whispers as she drains me of blood. It's as though there's a pump inside me. The pleasant feeling melts me instead, and my bones are gone.
新鮮な血。息がよくってピチピチして。
This is the limit. What's gone is gone. My veins are dry, and it should be impossible to wring out another drop.
もっとまだ足りない。
She keeps drinking. There shouldn't be anything left to suck out, but Tosaka continues to gulp down. It's as if she's converting my very life into blood. I see. In that case, this won't end so easily. Drinking endlessly. In the red classroom, she persistently sucks from me. My figure is melting away completely, being sucked into nothingness by her.
素敵よ、エミヤくん。あなたならこのまま全部もらってあげる。
A woman's voice reverberates in my mind. As the voice whispers, I'm drying up and withering away in red. Just like any other day. Next day. Beautiful. It's hot. Why did it happen? I went to bed, closed my eyes, and said goodnight, but in the next instant, my world turned red. It's hot. My mom woke me up before the loud noises did. It was bright even though it was nighttime. My dad held me as he ran through the burning hallway. It's painful. I heard my mom's voice behind us. My dad told me I should be fine by myself. He patted my head and told me to wait here. I nodded and did as I was told. It hurts. It wasn't much different outside. My eyes were hurting because everything was red. That's why I closed them and ran. I wanted to go to a place that wasn't hot. When I looked back, my house was no longer there. I probably got punished because I didn't do as I was told to. My eyes hurt. I cried as I walked. I had to go back to my house and wait. But I didn't know where my house was anymore. I raised my head, which I kept hidden with my hands until now. And I finally confronted the scene. The town was burning far away. The fire that cannot be put out was an event that cannot be redone. It happened 10 years ago. The fire was far away, not in the sense of distance, but in the sense of time. My skin was hurting. My throat hurt when I breathed in. My skin creaked by staying alive. I moved my legs wanting to escape, but something heavy entangled around my legs like shackles. I knew that's the presence of death wanting to take me. But it sure was hot. My nails tearing my throat were discolored. The air I breathed in stung in my burned esophagus. My eyes abandoned their function and my brain was being steamed inside my skull. It's hot. It's hot, 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 it's hot. I remember now. This place was hot. Really hot. But it was cold. Dreadfully cold. It passed the boiling point to reach the freezing point. The burning blood froze up and everything in my view was inverted. Everything was hot. That's why it was cold. And still, it was ridiculously hot. But, what's the cause of it? A black sun was in the sky. I didn't find it strange that the sun was up during night or that the sun was black. After all, everything was inverted. So such things should have been normal. But I ran away. I got scared and ran away. I wasn't afraid of the raging fires. Compared to that black shadow, burning up and dying seemed like a human death. That's why I ran away. I knew I'd be taken someplace even worse if that thing caught me. I blankly stared at the sky. I found out that it was going to rain soon, and my outstretched hand slowly fell to the ground. I slowly opened my eyes. I look around my room, my mind's still asleep. You want to check your neck too to make sure it was a dream? I sighed with relief in my futon. How many years has it been since I sighed with relief after seeing a nightmare?
けど、はっきりとした夢だったな。
My temples feel hot. I used to have this nightmare all the time. It all happened 10 years ago. Back then, my memories of the event were still terribly vivid, and I would wander through the fire every time I fell asleep. I thought I would never be able to forget about that day. That sky, the smell of the burning air, the surrounding wall of fire. Everything was real again once I fell asleep. That doesn't change even now. But the vividness should change. Wounds heal and memories fade. For the past few years, all I saw when I had that dream was a field of red. Why did my dream contain as far as the smell of the burning air? And what was that? I don't remember such a thing, nor do I recognize it. No, first of all, I did not see such a thing. I feel sick to my stomach. I get dizzy when I try to think about it. The breaker in my body trips telling me not to think about it.
起きよう。顔を洗ってすっきりしないと。
My body is sweaty, probably because of the dream. My pajamas are damp with my sweat and my head feels light. My arm feels heavy. I realize I don't even have the strength to get up.
どうなったんだ、これ。
Damn, even talking takes effort. When I place my hand on my forehead, I realize that it's hot.
もしかして風邪ひいたのか、俺。
I'm surprised. This is the first time I've caught a code. I've had bruises pretty often, but I've never caught a code.
だからあんな夢を見たのかな。体が熱いから夢の中も熱かったんだ。